Hey, all right, we are live. It is Friday, May 8th, and I am joined here today by Coach Alex.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Hope you're having a good week. All right, why don't we get started? We're gonna start with our usual cardio warm-up. I'm grabbing my jump rope. If you got a jump rope, feel free to join in. If not, you just jog in place, do jumping jacks, anything to really just get your heart rate up. That's all that's important here. All right, here we go. Oh, I should mention, we are gonna work on some Vanitax line changes. So if you've got a saber or something at home, might want to grab that too. If you don't have a saber, you can use a stick, or if you don't have that, just use your thumb as kind of a placeholder to keep track of where your blade is. Anyway, and if you want to get that now, I'll just be here jumping the rope. It's tricky sometimes. It's okay, you get better with practice. Just keep going, it's okay. No big deal. All right, just keep going a little bit longer. Couple more seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. So set your stuff aside if you got it out. Done with that. And do some dynamic stretches. So start with good old open, close the gate. Keep your hips square with your shoulders. You're gonna lift up your knee, turn it off to the side. And then same with the other knee. Try to keep your hips square when you do this. Remember, you're rotating your knee. And try to get that whole range of motion. Stretching out all these little muscles here in your hip. All right, let's go the other way. So outside and in. Again, keep your hips square. I like to put my hands on my hips to help keep them from wiggling around. Cool. Now we'll do some ankle rolls. So you're gonna stand on one foot and you're just gonna make a little circle with your toe. If you need to lean on something to steady yourself, that's fine. Just making little circles. And let's go the other way now. Try to move your foot as far as it'll go. Try to get like a stretch in all those tendons that move your foot like that. Cool. All right, let's do the other leg. So standing up on the other foot, and we'll move our toe around in a circle. And let's go the other way. Cool. All right. Let's all sit down. And you're gonna stick one leg off to the side like this. This is a modified version of what's called a hurdler stretch. You're gonna keep your legs straight, reach off towards your toe, and then use your other hand to reach over like this. And try to reach as far as you can. Don't worry if you're going further or not as far as me. It's all about doing what you can do. Pretty good. Let's go to the other side now. So, other leg out, other leg in. Same deal, reach towards your toe, other hand goes over the top. And take deep breaths while you do this. Try and relax as much as you can. Slow deep breaths will help relax your muscles. And when your muscles are relaxed, you're actually going to stretch further than when they're tense. All right, that's pretty good. Stand up slowly, shake your legs out a little bit. We're gonna stretch out the quads now. So I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing a little better. You're gonna step forward with one leg and kind of like a soccer lunge. Keep your hips square and you're gonna sink down. And you wanna really try and get your knee as low as you can go. There we go, feel the stretch right there. And if you want a little more stretch, again, keep your hips square and your back straight, but you're gonna rock your hips forward. Just a little bit like that. And remember, keep your shoulders upright, like you're standing up straight when you do this. Feel the stretch right here. All right, cool. Let's stand up. And let's do it on the other leg. So, other leg steps forward. Sink down. Keep your hips square. You have to get that back knee as low as you can get it. And if you need to, you can scoot your hips forward just a little bit, like this. Okay, that's pretty good. Stand up. We're gonna do one more that just sit on the floor for. So, sit back down, and you're gonna put your feet together in front of your hips, and you're gonna pull them in close. As close as you can, and try to keep your knees kind of low as you do this. And you should feel a stretch right in here. I'm going to lean forward a little bit. If you're really flexible, if you do the stretch a lot, leaning and tilting your hips forward helps with the stretch. Some of you that might not be necessary depending on your flexibility level, but if you really want to go for it, lean forward a little bit. Remember, tilt at the hips, and then try to keep your knees as close to the ground as you can. There we go. Okay, that's feeling good. Hopefully you're all feeling loosened up. Let's stand up again now. All right, and let's do some leg work. So, put your feet shoulder width apart. Whichever leg, it's gonna be your front leg, so it's gonna be on the side of the hand you fence with. Right if you're right-handed, left if you're left-handed. Anyway, that leg is gonna stick off 90 degrees, and you're just gonna squat. So you're on guard. All right, we're gonna start with some basic advances and retreats. So you're going to take your front foot, step forward with the heel, and bring your back foot up. All right, and then retreat. It's the same thing in reverse. You're gonna lift up this back foot, and then snap your front foot up so that you're back in the same position as you started. So here we go. Advance, and retreat. Advance, retreat. Advance, retreat. Advance, retreat. Notice I'm trying to make my feet finish moving at the same time, so I'll show you this with the advance, kind of in slow motion. Advance. You see my front foot and my back foot finish moving at the same time? Same thing with retreat. Retreat. And I do this so that there's no lag time at the end of my steps. If they're not coordinated, if there's lag, that slows down my step. It takes up time, during which time I can't take another step. So I'm trying to make my feet finish at the same time so I can step again right away. So advance, retreat. 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 All right, I'm going to take some double advances now. So this is where having your feet coordinated is really important because you're taking steps in sequence. I'm gonna go advance, advance. Try to have no pause in between when you do that. I'm gonna reverse it. Retreat, retreat. If I've coordinated my feet right, I should be able to do it pretty much without pausing. Advance, advance. Retreat, retreat. Advance, advance. Retreat, retreat. Advance, advance. Retreat, retreat. Advance, advance. Retreat, retreat. Remember to keep your knees bent doing this. That's like the number one thing I find myself saying to new students. Bend your knees. Advance, advance. Retreat, retreat. I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. If you find this easy, you can pick up the pace with me too. If not, keep taking it slow. I would much rather you do this right than you do it fast. All right, here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Retreat, retreat. Advance, advance. Retreat, retreat. All right, add one more thing to the sequence. So we're gonna add in a direction change. So I'm gonna go advance, advance, retreat. So notice there is no change in the rhythm. I take my retreat in the exact same rhythm as I took my first two advances. Bending your knees, having good technique is the real key to this. So I'm gonna do the advance one more time to show you. Advance, advance, retreat. Bending the knees, taking small steps, not trying to go as fast as I can. That helps keep the direction change smooth. All right, now I'm gonna do it in reverse. So here we go, retreat, retreat, advance. All right, now I'm just gonna keep flipping between the two now. So, advance, advance, retreat, and retreat, retreat, advance. Try to keep those tempos nice and smooth. Advance, advance, retreat. Retreat, retreat, advance. 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 All right. So, that's pretty good for advances and retreats. Let's go on to the lunge. So, good on guard. Remember, feet shoulder width apart. Bend your knees, back nice and straight. All right, I am going to kick this front foot forward like that. At the same time, I'm gonna push off with this leg here. So it's gonna look like this. All right, let me show you that a little bit slower. So pushing here, kicking off here, I'm gonna land on my heel, like that. And I'm gonna rotate my ankle down like that, and I'm gonna stop with my knee directly above my ankle like this. If you've landed and your knee is past your ankle like that, what probably means is you didn't do enough of a kick. You did a wimpy kick, little kick. and you put your foot down while your body is still moving forward, and you end up like that. So, if you notice that happening, try to kick out and step a little further. Like that. Alright. So, kick out. Oh, and by the way, when you go back to on guard from the lunge, make sure you're bending that back knee so that you recover to a low position. If you recover like this, you're doing it the slow way and the exhausting way. You don't want that. You want to do it the efficient way. So here we go. Lunge, recover. Nice low on guard. Lunge, recover. Lunge, and I'm going to check every now and then to make sure I'm landing in a good position. Knee above my ankle, and then recover. Lunge, and recover. Lunge, and recover. Lunge, and recover. Lunge, recover. Lunge, and recover. All right, I've gotten warmed up, so I'm gonna make my lunge a little bit longer now. Lunge, and recover. If you're feeling confident, you can join in, but you don't want to push yourself farther than your body will go. So, listen to your body and follow its advice. If you think you can do this, awesome. If not, it's fine. You don't need a huge lunge. It's much more about timing than it is about the sheer distance you can cover. Although it does help. And make sure you're bending your back knee when you recover as well. You should be a good knees bent, low to the ground on guard when you recover. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to walk back to where I started. I realize now I was lunging powerfully enough that I moved forward. That can happen if you have a really strong back leg. Anyway, let's tag and advance onto the beginning of that now, so it's a little bit more like what you would do in a bout, because you rarely lunge from standing still. You're usually moving at somebody. So here we go, just like before. Advance, lunge. And we're just going to do it that slow to begin with. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. I'm going to turn around. Make sure your front foot and back foot are finishing the advance at the same time. You can't lunge until they're both done. So having your feet coordinated like that will help you, kind of speed you into your lunge sooner, rather than trying to, I don't know, force your body to go fast, which will likely give you something sloppy and not good. All right, so here we go. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. All right, I'm going to turn around again. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. Ba-bum, bum. Ba-bum, bum. And I'm going to turn around. Ba-bum, bum. Ba-bum, bum. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. All right, I'm going to make my advance a little bit smaller, see if I can go a little bit quicker now. Advance, lunge. And recover. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. Advance, lunge. If you're trying to keep up, the key to doing a quick advance like that is to make it small. So rather than trying to take big steps and cover a lot of ground. I'm just taking a small step. I'm covering a little bit of ground, but I'm doing it quickly in a way that will surprise my opponent. And surprise is much better than sheer speed. So here we go. Advance, lunge. All right. Pretty good. All right, let's get blades. So I'm gonna get a saber. So that's what I've got. That's what I'm familiar with. If you've got a saber, probably want to go grab it now. If you don't, a French grip, foil, or épée will probably work, or you could just use like a meter stick or something. If you don't have any of those things, just do a thumbs up like that. Your thumb and the saber blade are pretty much going to be aligned in the same position whenever you do stuff. So that makes a good substitute. You know, we aren't worried about actually like parrying or hitting anybody, so it doesn't matter if your saber is 3 feet long or a couple inches. Anyway, so alright, I'm gonna assume everyone's got their stuff. Okay, let's come on guard. So for a saber on guard, main thing is to make sure your hand is far enough to the outside. So right if you're right-handed and left if you're left-handed. Far enough to the outside that this part of you here is protected. Alright, because this side of your arm, this side of your your forearm, this is all target and saber. If you are holding your sword in the middle like this, nothing's protected. If it's out here, this side is protected and you only have to worry about your opponent hitting you here or hitting you here. Anyway, so on guard, and what you're going to do is you're going to turn from the wrist and drop your point down. Notice my elbow stays where it is, it's going to point down, and just like that. So this will be, there we go. So go from threatening their head to threatening either their flank or belly. It depends on whether they're right-handed or left-handed. So the real focus here is to focus on just moving your wrist. All right. The wrong way I see beginners do it is they use their whole arm. Like that or like that. And both of those are very slow and very obvious. And you don't want to be obvious because you want to be sneaky. So, smallest motion is both hard to see and quickest. All right, I'm going to switch hands. This is the same motion, but I'm doing it left-handed. So if you're right-handed, this is what it's going to look like in the mirror when you do it. Still on guard, I'm still bending my knees. Make sure I'm practicing that. And I'm turning just my wrist. My whole arm is staying right where it is. So, change lines and back up. All right, I'm gonna go back to being right-handed. So now we're gonna do the same move on the other side. So instead of threatening them here, we're gonna threaten them over here. So here we go. Up to head, and then turn the wrist. Remember, keep your arm in place. Don't wanna do that or that, because that's big, it's obvious, it's easy to counter. Whereas this, it's gonna be quick, much harder to see, much harder to counter. So up to head, down to, it's going to be flank or belly depending on whether you're facing a righty or a lefty. I'm going to do that left-handed. Or hold on, I was doing the wrong thing. I was attacking the same spot, but doing the wrong motion. back to being right-handed now. So now we're going to do this with a lunge, because what you kind of ideally want to do is have them be parrying. So you're up here, they parry your head because that's the most logical place for you to go, and you change it up on them. So here we go. I'll show you from the front first, and then I'll show you from the side. So I'm going to keep my elbow pointing down. I'm going to turn from the wrist as I reach out. So here we go. Lunge. Like so. And I'll do it left-handed. Focus on keeping your hand in place and finishing with a hand pretty low down. It's going to be around waist height. Alright, let me do this sideways so you can see another angle on what I'm doing. So I'm turning as I lunge, and I'm trying to finish at the same time, or ideally, in fact, you want to finish a little bit ahead of your foot, like that. But what you don't want to do is, because by then they've probably realized you're attacking them, and they've either parried or they've just retreated away out of your range so you can't hit them. So here we go. Turn and reach up. Alright, and let's do the other side now. So, same thing. I'm gonna reach out as I turn my wrist. Like that, and a little bit of a squeeze at the end helps put my point on them instead of keeping it back here. So here we go. Turn, and then a little squeeze at the end. Here, let me do it left-handed for you. So, turn and lunge, little squeeze at the end. Alright, and then from the side, just for consistency. Alright. So now, we're going to work on the feint. So, I'm going to take an advance. I'm going to stick my hand out like this. You're not sticking it all the way. It's just a little something to show, hey, look at this thing. I'll show you from the front. You want it to just be, hey, look at this thing. Look at this thing right here. See it? See it? So I'm going to do that with a small advance, a little extension. And I'll do it from the side because I think that shows a little bit better. See, just a tiny little extension. It doesn't take much. So little extension with a step forward. Cool. All right. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to transition into the lunge that we just did with the line change. So, little feint, and then change lines. And recover. Little feint, change lines. Little feint, and change lines. It's important to do this slow. If you do a really fast feint, a lot of times your opponent doesn't see it. you want to give your opponent time to see that, hey, look, I'm going to your head. So that they parry and react to it. So here we go. Little bit of a show, and then change lines. Alright, I'm going to switch to doing the other side now. Little show, change lines. Little feint, change lines. Little feint, change lines. Little feint, change lines. Remember, try to do this all from the wrist when you change lines. As little arm motion as you can. Alright, I'm going to go back to where I started. I don't want to turn around because then I have to tuck over my shoulder. It's a little bit awkward. Anyway, we're going to try to smooth the sequence out now so that it's more like what you would do in a bout. So, here we go. Advance and change lines. Ba-bum, ba. That's my feet, by the way. Ba-bum, ba. So, just a regular advanced lunge tempo. I'll turn around, I'm not really talking. I'm going to go the other way now. So before I was going this way, let's practice the other side. Here we go. Advance, lunge. Ba-bum, ba. Ba-bum, ba. Ba-bum, ba. Show during the advance. And then change lines during the lunge. Trick them during the lunge. Boom. Cool. Okay. So now we're going to do one more thing. I'm going to have you on guard, kind of march in place like this. This is simulating you advancing, you're pushing me down. I'm doing stuff trying to defend. At a certain point, I'm going to give you an opening to attack, and then I'm going to close it. But when I close one line, two more open up. So that's your chance to do boom, boom. And since I'm parrying head, you can do either side. Doesn't really work. Doesn't really matter. So pick your favorite. All right, here we go. So moving. This is about, we're doing, little ins and outs, direction changes, trying to psych each other out, and suddenly you see the opening, boom, and there you go. We've done this. This is like probably not point number one. This is like halfway through the bout where you kind of know my habits. You kind of know that, yeah, Alex, either I throw out fake openings like that, or I just have really good reactions. But I can throw out those parries, so you feed me what I'm looking for, that straight attack to head, to get me to do that. And then free shot there. All right, here we go. So moving, waiting for that opportunity. There it is. Advance, little advance to show me so that I bite, and then either there or there. All right, here we go. Moving. Little steps in place. You don't want to be rocking or anything. This is just picking up your feet. There we go. Advanced lunge. Yeah, nice. Try to keep that nice, quick rhythm. Nice. Yep, show me. Don't just assume I'm gonna parry. You gotta show me that thing so that I bite. And back to moving. Okay. Yep, make sure you're doing those nice, easy wrist turns. Ideally, you want to be hitting me, you want to be finishing your cut right as I finish my parry. Okay, while I'm still figuring out that, oh, I've been had. Okay, the moment I figure out I've been tricked is the moment you hit me and it's too late for me to do anything. Alright, moving, pushing me away, pushing me down. There it is. Bop, bop, bop. Nice. Go. There we go. You're getting it. Looking good. Back moving. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yep, there. Both are valid hits. Nice. Yep, hit me as I'm still coming up, while I'm still thinking I gotcha. Nice. Back moving. Nice. Yes. Nice. Okay. That was pretty good. Hope you all had fun. Hope you all learned a thing or two maybe. And till we can see you in person, we'll catch you here on the internet. So stay safe, stay hydrated, and we will see you next time.